In this program, I will be working with a 12-year-old girl. The student has autism and is fully verbal. The student has difficulties with social communication and having conversations with peers during the school day. For this program, I will be focusing on social communication with my student, using social stories to increase social engagement with instructors and peers during the school day. The AAC system I will be using for this program are two social stories. The first social story is about reciprocal conversation. They talk about how it is important for people to exchange words with each other, and they describe having conversations as playing catch, because people go back and forth. The second social story is about staying on topic throughout a conversation. The social story talks about when it is appropriate to switch topics, and they describe staying on topic like following a path together. The other materials needed are comprehension questions about the social stories. In the beginning of instruction, the instructor will take out the two social stories. The social story has words with pictures on it. The reciprocal conversation social story has short answer comprehension questions, and the staying on topic social story has fill-in-the-blank comprehension questions. These materials are appropriate for my student because she has a lack of social skills during the school day. My student has difficulties with turn-taking and staying on topic throughout conversations as well. Social stories are appropriate for my student because they can understand the social cues from reading the social story and generalize them into their own conversational skills. These social stories will assist my student in being able to someday have independent conversations and know when to change topics and when to respond during a conversation. For this program, I will be reading the social story with the student, having the student answer the comprehension questions at the end of the stories, and then begin the conversation practice. The student and the instructor will be together for 15 minutes Monday through Friday. The instructor will assess the student on Fridays. The instructor will ask the student questions and will be looking for a response, and then making sure the student asks the instructor a question that stays on topic. This is so that the student gets used to staying on topic and taking turns during the conversation. This program will be using a most to least prompting system. For the first 2 weeks of instruction, the instructor will use a direct verbal prompt if the student does not respond or does not ask the instructor a question in return. After 2 weeks, if the student is ready, the instructor will fade to an indirect verbal prompt. The student is capable of following these directions, so instructors do not need to go beyond that point during this program. An example of a direct verbal prompt is, when I ask you how you are doing, ask me how I am doing as well. And an example of an indirect verbal prompt is, what should you ask me after I ask you how you are doing? Okay, Megumi, we're going to start reading our social stories. So the first one we're going to read is Staying on Topic. So here you go, and you may begin reading.
Staying on topic. When people have a conversation, they pick a topic to discuss. They will often talk about this topic for a week.
Alright, now that we've finished our first social story, here are your comprehension questions for the first one. I'll give you 2 to 3 minutes to finish those. Okay, nicely done. Here is our second social story, and then we will do the comprehension questions for this one as well. So you may begin reading.
Participating in a reciprocal conversation.
Okay, now that we're done with that, we'll start practicing our conversations. Hello, Megumi.
Hello.
How are you today?
Fine.
When I ask you how you are doing, tell me how you are doing, and then ask me how I am doing. So, how are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So what did you do in math this morning?
Fractions. I hate fractions.
Oh, fractions are hard.
What did you do when I was in math?
I was helping the 8th graders in algebra. I was teaching them some algebra.
Oh, algebra.
Yeah. So what did you do in science today?
We dissected owl pellets.
Oh, that sounds really interesting. Sounds fun.
What did you do, Miss Collins?
I was helping out in another algebra class. I was teaching them about dividing fractions. So what is your favorite game to play during flex class?
Apples to apples.
Oh, I really like that game.
How about you, Miss Collins? What do you like to play during flex class?
My favorite game is probably Uno, but now that we're done, we can play apples to apples if you want.
Yeah!
Nicely done today. This program is beneficial for my student because it will give her more independence as the program moves forward. The student is able to respond to these questions without a script in front of her. The social stories the student is using are very useful because they can assist the student to interact more with her peers during the school day.